The story of a necromancer getting reincarnated into the modern world who now has to deal with assassins, gangsters, and the problems faced by the original owner of the body. We'll be covering how the corpse god goes from a dungeon boss to a toned-down version of himself in quite possibly another world. His story will be covered from meeting new friends, assassins, to getting involved in the politics of his current body's original owner, a certain Polka Shinuyama. An army of knights face off against an army of undead controlled by a necromancer called the Corpse God, the only man capable of competing with him in the legendary Calamity Crusher, Shagruya Edith Lugrid. The Calamity Crusher faces the Corpse God head-on while souls start seeming out into the world. The Corpse God summons a dragon to attack the Calamity Crusher, but the hero makes short work of it, splitting the beast in half. In his childhood, Shagruya saw a lot of death and destruction before he was enlisted into the church. He was always able to see the souls of the dead, known as shades, a power the Corpse God calls the Evil Eye. A priest explains that most wielders of the Evil Eye either seek refuge in the church or become necromancers that enjoy toying with ghosts like the Corpse God. Shagruya is the only one who chose to fight on the battlefield. Shagruya soon sees the Corpse God's true form before the two have a clash of ideals. The Corpse God finds lives to be mere toys to play with. Enraged, Shagruya attacks at the Corpse God, charges his magic, he breaks through and causes a huge explosion. The next thing you know, someone seems to have reincarnated into the body of a dead boy who goes by the name of Polka Shinuyama. The reincarnated soul awakens in the modern world and slowly begins understanding the language from the body's memories. In an interaction with the police, the man has to explain his sliced neck to the police when a girl suddenly barges in and drags him away. Her name is Misaki Sakimiya, and she seems to know Polka. She checks whether Polka is truly alive before revealing that she was the one who killed him in the first place. Our protagonist realizes that she's telling the truth and runs. It seems that someone placed the hit on him, which the retrievers are carrying out. Polka proceeds to run into a warehouse and is distressed at the lack of spirits. Misaki catches up to him and Polka tries to stay alive when he gets hit in the calf with a dagger. He throws it back and continues running, but stumbles into a place where the Yakuza used to torture people. Polka gathers the power of the souls and casts magic to pierce Misaki with skeletal fingers. The Corpse God was reincarnated into this world. The Corpse God was always surrounded by death when he simply desired to live peacefully. He once stumbled on kids which he helped feed and became close to, even finding love. But the children were slayed by the extremist church for having come into contact with the necromancer, so the Corpse God executed his vengeance for the next century. Centuries passed as the Corpse God waited for someone to kill him so that his reincarnation spell could begin. Back in real time, Polka is confused as to why Misaka died so easily. Realizing he'd have to run from authorities, Polka gets exceptionally distressed. Meanwhile, the man controlling the drones who saw everything tells a certain Clarissa of what happened. Misaka herself had watched a man kill her family in her childhood, and seeking revenge, she got into the assassination business and in the process gained enjoyment from the killing. Clarissa herself seems to be in charge of multiple assassins. Misaka personally went after Polka because she wanted to try killing a good person. After killing him, she tried to commit suicide but was stopped when she learned from Kuruya that she didn't actually kill Polka. Back in the present time, Misaka wakes up, surprised to learn that she's alive. Polka tells her that she was resurrected into a zombie by magic. Clarissa is already there with bodyguards surrounding Polka. 40 minutes prior, Takumi Kuruya, the info broker, had informed Clarissa of everything that happened. She later showed up while Polka was reviving Misaki. After healing her, Polka turns her attention to Clarissa, and after a confusing conversation with her about magic before realizing that this world doesn't have sorcerers. Polka proceeds to threaten them, saying that they should forget what happened here. During a parley, Takumi informs Clarissa about a fire in the area. Polka overhears this and asks Clarissa the details, and learning that the fire is at the orphanage, Polka is guided to the building by Takumi and he proceeds to save all the children there. The skeletons do end up in a few posts on the web though, worrying Takumi immensely. Later on, Polka asks Clarissa how peace can be achieved here. She tells him, "You just need money." Polka tells her that he wants to earn money and power in this place. Clarissa then officially introduces herself as Lisa Kuraki, an intermediary in Shinjuku, and offers him a place at her side. She assigns Misaki and Takumi to him. Polka, Takumi, and Misaki shift into a torture building owned by Clarissa. Besides that, Polka seems to have fooled his family into believing he's on vacation. Polka discusses this world with the rest and how the Geldwood religion doesn't exist here. Right now, he intends to learn more about the client who placed a hit on his body's true owner. Turns out Polka transferred the original Polka's soul to a drone. After some banter, a person comes to Misaki and asks her to deal with some hitman. Polka overhears and takes the job from him. Later at night, Polka and Misaki are guided to the location where the targets are. The two end up being ambushed by the client himself, but Misaki proceeds to beat them up rather quickly, even recovering from gunshots considering her zombie body. Turns out Polka was aware that the client was evil, considering he saw the ghosts of children around him. Polka then proceeds to turn the Yakuza into a ball of flesh and dirt, taking revenge for the children by deforming them. Back at the apartment, Takumi asks Polka why he listened to the kids when he believes lives are like toys. Polka states that he likes toys because they make children happy, and hence, he takes good care of them. Takumi realizes that he and Misaki are probably the real scumbags. Clarissa converses with another girl about Polka when she gets a call from the client who put the hit on Polka. She puts their relationship on hold considering the turn of events. A man inquires from a bartender about the whereabouts of Clarissa, who apparently works there. Polka explains Misaki's zombie condition to Takumi, including her healing ability and paralyzing saliva. At the warehouse, the police stumble onto the remains of the Yakuza Polka dispatched, along with a certain bandaged individual. Takumi asks Polka more about his world when Polka determines that the two must be connected. He also reveals that he didn't kill the Yakuza back then, but rather deformed them severely. Meanwhile, at the crime scene, Tsubaki Iwanome, an officer at the Shinjuku Safety Division, along with his colleague Kozaburo Arase, shows up to investigate. Tsubaki was previously seen looking for Clarissa. At the police station, Tsubaki briefs his team on the Grim Reaper, fire-breathing bug, and lemmings, 3 murderers currently at large. Meanwhile, Polka moves the original Polka soul to a toy shark's body. Polka then explains that he can convert a ghost's grudges into power. He can also gain mana from gemstones, but then Takumi shows Polka how expensive they are, which brings him back to reality. Outside the jewelry shop, Polka and Misaki stumble into Arase. Meanwhile, Tsubaki meets Clarissa and discusses the recent supernatural happenings with her. Arase grabs Takumi's drone out of the air when Polka unfortunately becomes involved by telling Arase to let go of the drone. Arase then threatens Polka to break ties with Takumi, considering he's scum. Angered at Arase's words, Polka glares, which makes Arase jump back. Arase is actually an exceptionally strong individual, and Takumi tells Polka to hide his powers in front of him since he's a cop. The conversation gets dangerous, so Takumi calls Arase and tells him to step away from the kids. He tries to threaten him, but Arase turns the tables on him. Talking of how Takumi sold off his previous friends, Polka then proceeds to threaten Arase again with his aura, before Misaki sneaks up and attacks him before the two run off. After the two retreat, Takumi calls Polka and tells him that Arase was telling the truth about him, ratting his friends out to save his life. Polka replies that he has no secrets worth more than a friend's life. Back at the police station, Arase asks Aikawa to investigate the footprint on his chest. She tells him a similar footprint was found at the site of the human knot crime scene. Another officer talks about Lemmings, a notorious murderer who is able to withstand even machine gun fire. At the bar, Tsubaki questions Clarissa about the Grim Reaper when Polka and Misaki enter. Tsubaki gets a text from Arase describing the kids who just walked in being related to the human knot case. He begins questioning Polka and Misaki when Takumi sees Arase heading to the bar. He wants Polka to run when Arase suddenly enters. The two officers begin questioning Misaki and Polka when the lights suddenly go out. Lemmings enters the scene. The officers surround Lemmings, with even Polka realizing how dangerous he is. Lemmings proceeds to beat down the officers, even overpowering Arase before going for Misaki. He casually picks her up and runs off. Polka decides to use his magic even at the cost of his peace. Clarissa turns off the lights to help out Polka as he retrieves Misaki from Lemmings. The man gets Misaki back after neutralizing Polka's attacks. Misaki and Lemmings whisper a bit before Misaki tries to bite him. She then proceeds to use a fork covered in her poison to paralyze him, but it's only partially effective. Polka uses the opportunity to cast some wide-scale magic. In a building, Lemmings approaches his boss. Lemmings' name is revealed to be Nezu. Polka and Misaki talk to Takumi about the situation before Polka thanks Misaki for saving him. Polka remembers his conversation with his master before he asks his friends to help him learn more. At the apartment, Polka discusses with Takumi and Misaki about how he intends to gain money. He has one ghost. Hosorogi possesses a pen to show how he can earn money. Hosorogi ends up giving the three an idea. Thus, Polka starts a fortune-telling gig. The pen ghost is well-versed in the art of scamming. Polka divides the cash between the 5, including Hosorogi and the real Polka. Takumi is about to reveal something about Polka's family when 2 kids with bodyguards barge into the room. The two twins are Kazuki and Shizuki Shinuyama, and Polka is their uncle. Polka tries to fool the two in an attempt to keep them from realizing his true identity. The two then tell him to read their fortune, but Polka tells them to come in the morning. This leads to Takumi threatening them and a verbal altercation. Polka intervenes and gives the twins a hug, saying that he'll protect both of them. He seems to have learned something from a ghost haunting them, telling Polka to protect the two. Polka tells the two that he'll be coming home tomorrow. After the kids leave, Takumi gives Polka information about the rich Shinuyama family, including the fact that Polka is the second son of the current patriarch, Rozan Shinuyama. Takumi also says that he believes someone from his relatives put the hit on him. The two decide to make Misaki his bodyguard as he goes back to the Shinuyama family. Meanwhile, the twins meet their brother, Takeru Shinuyama, Lemming's boss. Takeru asks them about Polka, and they tell him he'll be coming home tomorrow. Seems like he also had something to do with Suzuka, the ghost who haunts the two. We can't wait to find out what will happen in the coming episodes. Don't forget to smash that subscribe and like button, and leave a comment down below.